This presentation shows how the lesson plan corresponds to the Assure model. The lesson is designed to teach students about copyright and have them demonstrate their understanding of it. Students will watch the copyright lecture. Then the teacher will provide scenarios one at a time to the class. In groups, the students will determine if copyright law has been violated and explain why or why not. Different groups will be called on to share their reasoning with the class. Finally, students will work with a partner to read 6 different scenarios in which someone has violated copyright law. Students will pick 3, describe how copyright law was violated, and explain how to fix it. They will develop a presentation of these 3 examples using the presentation software of their choice. The Assure model requires learner analysis to best understand and plan for factors that will influence student learning. This slide displays the demographics and attitudes of the students. They're generally excited to learn, highly interested in using technology, and they are digital natives. The students will work in leveled partner groups on their presentations. Whole class practice will be done in leveled groupings based on the seating chart. Supports and extensions will be provided based on differences in needs. Multiple intelligences are not directly addressed because students have plenty of choice in which scenarios they pick and how they design their presentations. The Assure model requires curricular and technology standards. This lesson uses 5th grade ELA TEKS and ISTE student standards. The Assure model bases its objectives on the ABCD checklist, which stands for audience, behavior, conditions, and degree. The audience of this lesson is 5th graders. The behavior they are expected to achieve is demonstrating their understanding. The conditions or materials and tools the students are given are the copyright lecture video, presentation software, and the different scenarios. Finally, the degree of proficiency students will achieve is a 3 on the rubric's 4-point scale. The Assure model requires the teacher to choose strategies and resources as part of the planning process. In reality, I would not expect 5th graders to watch a 10-minute lecture and be able to demonstrate understanding to mastery after just a little practice. Realistically, I would break the lecture into mini lessons over the course of a whole unit, with frequent review and practice activities. Then students would demonstrate their understanding at the end of the unit. All the selected resources are aligned with the objectives, accurate and current, age-appropriate, high quality, user-friendly, and bias-free. They will promote student engagement. The Assure model requires the teacher to preview and prepare resources, prepare the environment, prepare the learners, and provide the learning experience. The teacher doesn't need to preview the lecture video since it's teacher created, but she should read the copyright scenarios and confirm that the presentation software is working and available to students. She should also prepare the room and needed materials. After the preview and prepare steps, all that's left is to provide the learning experience. This begins with the whole class brainstorm to assess and activate prior knowledge. Then the students watch the lecture video. The Assure model requires learner participation. After watching the lecture video, the teacher will provide scenarios one at a time to the class. In groups, the students will determine if copyright law has been violated and explain why or why not. Different groups will be called on to share their reasoning with the class. The teacher will circulate while students work to clarify misconceptions and provide feedback. After this practice, students will split into partner groups, read the 6 scenarios, and choose 3 for their presentation. They'll choose their presentation software and explain each chosen scenario, how it violates copyright law, and how to correct it so that it does not. Lastly, the Assure model culminates with evaluating student learning as well as reflecting on the lesson's pedagogical successes and needed improvements. Student learning will be evaluated with the presentation rubric. The teacher will use this evaluation and her own self-assessment of the lesson's strengths and weaknesses to determine needed changes for future lessons.